Sexual addiction in our country, as we're beginning to understand it, is so common. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? What feeling is denied very early on? Anger is the most commonly, is the feeling for sure you can't have. Don't you raise your voice to me. Don't you talk to your mama that way. But what about sexual feelings? Little Farquhar, you know, I've been through that one so many times. When that child finds his private parts, when the child finds his genitals, there's no permission to feel those feelings. You don't sit at the breakfast table and talk about sexual feelings. I had a sexual feeling this morning, Dad. Boy, it was wonderful, you know. Or there is absolutely no permission in the family for that. So those feelings go underground. They get repressed, and you get alienated from them. They're split off. When you look in the mirror, there's no sexuality, not in the family. And we wonder why, when people get married, 68% of marriages are, according to Masters and Johnson, are sexually dysfunctional. This quiet desperation people live about their sex life. Nobody talks about it. It's a massive cultural denial. I know of no church groups anywhere where people are sitting down really getting honest about the pain of not having sex in their marriages, how that gets ritualized and habitualized, and how the kids at some level know that that kind of intimacy is not going on. You see, and in our culture, for men, we sexualize intimacy. A lot of men do not know how to be intimate except sexually. And a lot of women affectionalize sexuality. That is, they get dependent on just, they'll have sex, but it's not for sex. It's to be close, it's to be intimate, it's to be held, it's to feel connected to somebody. Whereas the man doesn't know how to feel connected, because often, very early on, he wasn't allowed to have his feelings. Wasn't allowed to have sadness, he wasn't allowed to have fear, he wasn't allowed to have his feelings. Are little boys who are neglected emotionally, they don't get a lot of attention, or who are emotionally abused. What happens is they go very deep within themselves in isolation. They may touch themselves in a certain way and feel the pleasure, fondle themselves, and then they objectify their sexuality. That is, their self becomes an object of sex. Then they objectify all sexuality.